Mic check. Let me know how that sound is coming in. We are doing this live. What's up, Doug? Make sure you guys say hello to us over there and follow us over there on Facebook and Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. This is lesson 4. So tonight, there is no music. We are cutting the music. Go ahead and kill it there, Maestro. And it is just you, and it is just me. Tonight, it is lesson number 4. This one is going to be a big one. This is what I am entitling the reality check. What could we possibly mean? This is going to be a tough lesson for all. And I want you to, first and foremost, as we come into this lesson, number 1, besides smashing that like button, of course, if you don't like this, smash that down button. But if you are watching this one, this is your first time, you haven't gone through the other videos, even if you have, your number 1 action item from this video is to go back and watch lessons number 1, number 2, and number 3. And I'm going to talk about why. I have just gone through conversations with folks who have been in our room for a while now. And even after our conversations, I realized that it is almost impossible to absorb everything that is in those 3 lessons. Take some notes. When I'm talking about taking some notes, write these things down right now. Here is what I want you guys to do. What's up, Anthony? Thanks for saying hello. What's up, Charles, Matthias, Raylan? Good to see you guys here this evening. Make sure you guys smash that like and say hello to us over there in the chat. However, let's pull up our trade room here. And by the trade room, I'm talking about our Discord chat. Over here on the left-hand menu, I want you guys to come over here and look to see what I'm talking about as far as your notes go. They're awesome. Thanks, Doug. There really is a lot in there. And I know that some of you guys, you know, you think you catch these things, but I want to say something to you guys, okay? Here we go. Trade journal notes. If you are coming into our room, you can go and look at the notes that I've taken. And by that, I mean, literally, I'm just taking screenshots from these videos, but these need to be ever present in your mind. That does not happen on the first iteration. Okay, those of you guys who have, for me, studied the Bible, listen, the first time that you hear a message, a sermon at church, or you're going through a passage or a verse, you do not maintain or recall and really meditate on that unless you have meditated on whatever it is. And in a case like, let me give an example right here. This is a very important screenshot that I took right here. Let's see if I can scroll this up a little bit. From some of the last videos, knowing what time of day you should be trading. This seems simple, but there was somebody the other day that was asking in our room, like, hey, well, I don't know what happened to this trade. I'm literally like trying to lead somebody through to understand where they are, and I can see on their screenshot that they took a trade at 11:45, and they were trying to figure out what was going on with it, and I was trying to lead them to understand what time of day that they took that. This is a big shifting point in the day, right? We talk about it. This is probably one of the biggest trap times of the day that one of these trades could occur. So things like this, and we literally just had this lesson, but it was something that I'm like, did you watch the video? He's like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I watched it last night. It was great. And so literally it's the next day. And what I'm saying with this is that I can tell that people are not absorbing. Okay, there is something about listening to a video, and then there is something different about, it's like reading comprehension, okay? My daughter, she's 8 right now, and she's going through classes, and they have reading comprehension. It's like, are you comprehending what you're watching, okay? So when you see this screenshot, this should be eliciting conversations from the video. What was Vinny talking about in this SMLK? What is SMLK? Do you know what that is? Small, medium, large, king size moves. Do you know what these are? Make sure you go back. There is so much in those first 3. I'm not going to hit on that much more here, but I want you to go through and watch those videos again. Maybe take your own screenshots from those videos, but each one of these screenshots in here should kind of take you back. Like, what was going on right here? This was Tom Dante trying to do some trading games to increase your skills with being hand-eye coordination. This was a hand-eye coordination game, right? Looking to the left, making sure you get to the filters, especially on video number 3. Those filters are extremely, extremely important. So my first thing in this lesson, I want you to go back and digest videos 1, 2, and 3, because here's why. The next series of videos are going to be very fast. okay? There is meat in these first three, even this one tonight. These are things that you need to understand. Things like accumulation, distribution, understanding that we're trying to catch the distribution leg so that we can sell our contracts at a higher price. Understanding those things. Remember this whole filter mechanism, all right? What's up, Neon? He says, always know your market sessions and when and how to approach them. Feasible trade for the level of trader you are. That's right. That was some of the first things, like know where you are. And that's going to come back to my very first question here in just a minute to you guys in just a moment. Perfect segue there, Neon. But yes, where are you in your trading? You should be having training wheels. I talked about this the other day. There are some folks who are trying to jump the gun, and I get it. We're adults, so we all feel like we are, we're ready. We are adults. We have figured life out. We're making our own way, right? I can make my own sandwiches. Yay. Okay. So it's hard for me as a mentor to come and tell you, listen, I've been doing this 14 years. You are children in my eyes when it comes to trading. Nothing in your life has ever prepared you for what trading is going to wreck your mind with. Okay? Now, I have built this series of tools that basically takes my entire brain and tries to dump it into an application that turns the market into a video game where we've got very bright and vivid colors so that it's very specific so that you can answer the questions quickly, but you still have got to practice. And I want to actually, let's come over here to Twitter real quick and come to, I want to show you guys a couple of videos here that kind of iterate my point, okay? Most of you guys, even if you are a veteran trader, if you're coming into this new style of thing that we're doing, this is my son right here, and he's 3 years old, okay? But I was fascinated when I realized earlier today, he's learned how to drive a boat in Battlefield 3. How is a 3-year-old
driving that boat?
Can y'all hear that?
Sure, but it looks like you're swimming. You're only 3 years old.
Okay, he's out here, and I see him.
Are you in a boat?
Out of the corner of my eye.
When did you learn how to drive a boat?
Yeah, when did you learn how to drive a boat? I don't know. He's not a pro at it though, right? Look, he's stuck right here. Okay, he knows how to get in the boat. He knew how to like drive it into an area. But now I'm asking him like, well, what are you gonna do now? And next thing you know, he's kind of, oh, the video's stuck. I think he gets stuck up against some little post.
Oh.
And next thing you know, he's he's swimming. Okay, where did he go? Here we go.
Oh.
Now.
But it looks like you're swimming. You're only 3 years old.
Now he's out here swimming, okay, because he fell out of the boat. He doesn't know what to do. But here's what's crazy. So like me, I've been doing this a long time. I know to take the boat, go around, we're hitting into B. I'm going to get in the backside. I'm going to go into B. I'm going to steal B. I'm going to kill 5 guys. I'm going to jump up to the roof, try to steal their helicopter, fly it across the sea. Right? I know this plan in my head. I know where I'm going. But Mikey knows the first part. He's like, well, I've seen Daddy jump in the boat, right? And then I ride over to this thing, and then I do some stuff. You guys, a lot of you guys think, oh, I know how to do this now. Like, I've seen Vinny do it. I jump on the boat and I just go. Okay, this is the other video here, him doing a helicopter. This was pretty impressive.
Fix it.
Okay, now me, when Daddy's riding around in the helicopter, I can go out here and I can kill, 12 guys at a time in a chopper. Okay, little Mikey, he's 3 years old and he's flying around in this chopper with some guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. The other guy's shooting, but he's fixing this helicopter right here.
Good job, Mikey.
He knows a couple of things what to do, and that's an advanced technique. I mean, to me, as a 3-year-old, this was fascinating to watch him do this. Okay, so I'm like, woo, congratulations. But that's good for a 3-year-old. Okay, now where I'm going with this is as a trader, you need to recognize where you are right now. If you're coming into this series and you're getting in through the videos, you're not ready, okay? Mikey thinks he's ready to go and take out. He gets mad when people shoot him and whatnot, and I'm like I know the expectation is that that's going to happen, okay? He's got everything mounted against him as he's going into a game like that with a lot of experienced people. You guys are kind of the same way. You know how to use the weapons, okay? You know the helicopter's there. You know you can fly around in it, but if you don't get in there and practice, you're not going to be successful. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to practice. Yes, you are the 3-year-old. Perfect, Anthony. That's kind of exactly my point in that. But even like my son, did you know that he couldn't even figure out how to get the boat to go left and right before? I was trying to teach him, ASD like is weird, right? On your keypad, ASD and W to go forward and backwards, like just for him to learn that, it took a while. But you know what? Now, shoot, I've seen him go and he's just, you know, he can get around, right? But he's not ready to take people out yet. You know what I'm saying? Mikey's mind is not yet tainted with all pollution that clogs an older man's mind. Practice more, creates memory, involuntary action, subconscious memory. Yes, so his involuntary things are that he can click A, S, D, and W and move anywhere that he wants. He's directionally, he can do whatever, okay? But once he is moving in a direction, he's not going to have pinpoint control to be able to take that guy out at a distance or know how to control his weapon very effectively. So where I'm going with this is, remember in these first lessons to put on the training wheels before you go anywhere. What are the training wheels, right? Things like this. Make sure you're only taking 5 trades. Listen, if you can't get 5 trades and make money, I promise you doing 50 trades is not going to help you. Okay? This is going to keep you from blowing out. So us are 2 poopy pants. Okay, maybe just me. So I told you guys this is going to be like one of those reality checks here on this, and it's going to be a tough listen. But I want you to question, you know, look around. This is what I want you to do. Look around. The people that are in the room right now, I'm telling you that some of you are not going to be here like a year from now. Okay? Let me tell you about the realities of trading. Okay? And this is, you know, these are just stats. Okay? Let's say without AlgoBox. Okay? You guys already know this stat. So 95% failure rate. Okay? On traders by themselves. Okay? Now, with us, I actually think this for AlgoBox is around 50%. I don't have an actual stat on this since I'm typing the other one out. All right, I'm going to say 50%. But do I know? This is level of your success. Now, you know, profitability, sure, I think you might be profitable, but I'm talking about success. I think 50% of you are going to make it. And I'll tell you why. Because there are 2 groups of people on this 50-50 line. Okay, there's 2. Okay, there's a famous phrase that I'll tell you guys here in a minute. Okay, there are dreamers and there are planners. Okay, the difference between these 2 groups. Planners make their dreams come true. Planners, you have got to plan this out. How are you going to do this? Having a passion, you know, I heard you say deep passion is not just a hobby. It's a mindset of that of a hobby. Yeah, so I don't think anybody comes in here necessarily as that this is going to be a hobby. Okay, I think everybody who comes into this really has a desire. I hear a lot of people coming in and saying, you know, telling me their reasons why, right? Everybody's got their reasons why they want to do this, but they don't get to the part of how. How are you going to make it? In this video, before you get into the meat of the strategies that I'm going to tell you, because I know I'm kind of slow pacing this for you guys right now because I want you to remember this moment and be like, dude, I remember Vinny did that one lesson where he's just like, you know, crushing us. But I want you to understand, like, this is the basic training part of going into the military. I want you to live. This is the reason that you need to understand this, and I want to drive it home to you because I would love to push that 50% thing up to like 95% of you win, and then 5% of you are AKs, okay? That guy can't, you know, find his way out of a paper bag. There's nobody can help him, okay? He's mentally handicapped. And if that's you, look, you're going to be in that 5% category on the other side. I can't help that. Yeah, it is like any business. Businesses fail too. Same failure rate. 95% of businesses fail on their first attempt. Did you know that those who go into the second attempt, though, have an 80% success rate? That's the part that people don't know. Now, why I say that, does that mean you need to take this at a second time? No, but I think that there's a lot of people who have gone into trading. They come here after they've been through other programs. They've already had their failure point. I hope that they get to this one, and now they've got this 80% success rate. I want that. Okay, but dreamers and planners, you need to plan how you're going to do this. Now, I have a plan for you. Whether you follow it or not, that is the question. Because I hear a lot of people and I see a lot of people, and I'm just coming to hard truth with you. A lot of you are not going to do the work. A lot of you are not going to get what I tell you. If I tell you to buy this mouse, you're like, I think I got a better mouse. I like my mouse. I tell you buy this keyboard, you're like, I like my keyboard. I think I can do better with my keyboard. I'm like, buy this monitor, and they're like, I like this curvy looking thingamabobber that's, you know, goes from here to here. You guys do not understand. I will not tell you something that I do not know with beyond a shadow of a doubt is truth. There's one thing that, like, people can critique me about a lot of things, but I am not going to lie to you. We're all dreaming about as good as you. Well, that's fantastic. In fact, that's what I want you to have the mindset of. But I can't tell you how many people I see in our room, rather than follow my plan of how to get to where I am, they think they have a better idea. And I get it, because you're all adults. Y'all all, maybe you're leaders in your business, maybe you're managers where you are, maybe you're not used to somebody else telling you what to do, and I get that. But for a moment in time, to save your ace, folks, listen to me. Do what I tell you to do. Do the work that I tell you to do. Do the small things well, like take some screenshots, for crying out loud. Listen, folks, watch this. Take a screenshot, print screen, kapow, bloop, ding, done. You see how hard that screenshot was? It was not hard. If you do not have an application to take a screenshot that you can do quickly, get one. That is another part of our thing here tonight. I've got it on my list. Get the right tools in your tool belt. And if you want to ask a question in our room, take a screenshot, copy, go into our public room. It should be somewhere on one of your screens. Get to it quickly. Copy and paste. Oops, I got my room all jacked up here. Okay, but this is extremely important. Control V, bam. Show me the screenshot of the charts. Okay, how many people are not showing screenshots of their charts? I'm telling you, especially when you are new, people. Now, look, we've got people who have been with me for 4 years. Am I expecting them to be continuously posting me screenshots every day of their work, of their trades? No. But you new folks, if you have been here less than 6 months, even 9 months, you should be posting screenshots, y'all. Screenshots are your friend. They will allow me to see what you're doing. It allow me to give critique to you. The room can help critique you. There are so many things and reasons, and I can't always explain to you guys why. A lot of you people want to know the whys, and if you ask me, I will tell you. But I promise you, there are things like mentally, psychologically, that I am programming you. Folks, I am a programmer, okay? But I am a programming mastermind, and I would like to program your mind for success. In the things that I'm having you do, there are reasons that you can't even comprehend some of the stuff of why I'm telling you to do some things, but I promise you, I'm programming your brain for success, to do what's necessary so that you will succeed with Algobox. And another part of this, folks, is I love you guys enough to tell you the truth. I don't want you to fail. I want everyone here to succeed, okay? But I know that there are some folks that just look around, folks. There are some people that are not going to be here a year from now. Not because I'm going to kick them out of the program. There are some people like that. We've had some situations, maybe like literally 3, that where we literally had to remove someone from the program for being caustic individuals, okay? But outside of that, again, we've had hundreds of people flow through our program. But removals, that's not going to happen. But you may remove yourself by not doing the work. Sorry, I know I think I've driven this home. I'm going to talk to you guys about some very specific things of what those are. The training wheels from from our previous videos, we got that done. Look around you, yes. The Michael Jordan references, okay? Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. Okay? If you ever just go watch, and some people are so young, you might have not got to grown up with this guy. I grew up with this guy, okay? The guy could do things like you've never seen people do what he does. The way that he would fly through the air. They call him Air Jordan for a reason. You know, some of you new kids or, millennials, you might have, oh, come on. Why is the internet having problems right now? How about this one? Are none of my images going to open up tonight? Oh, that's fantastic. Loading. Google loading. All right. Well, what he says in this is, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot, and I missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. This guy had a home gym, right? Picture the home gym. Okay, this guy is the best basketball player in the world, but probably in his backyard, right? He's got his own basketball hoop. Okay, he's got his hoop up here. He is hooping it up. Okay, and what does he do? This spot right here is probably worn out. Why? I talk about this because this is the free throw. This is probably supposed to be one of the easiest. They literally call it the free throw. This should be one of the easiest shots for a professional to take. But do you know how many free throws this guy is shooting per week? This guy could be hundreds, thousands, maybe, over his career. I have no idea how many times. Yeah, Tiger Woods. Yes, Michael Jordan. Many hours practicing and practicing. Yes, just that shot right there seems so easy. Okay, like I'll give an example. 2-finger salute. All right, everybody's like, "Oh, Vinny, I got this. 2-finger salute. Okay, it's out there. It's got an arm. Yep, I'm flipping it backwards. No problem." And I'm like, you got to practice them. You need to practice them. Now, some of you guys with platinum, look, you just turn it on full auto, so that's different. Okay, but practice. You're gonna have to put in the time. Okay. I want to give a great. Let's talk about a positive. Let's see, Jay. From Jay. All right. So Jay this week is just crushing it. Let's see. What did we talk about? Alarm turned 8. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna jump to this spot right here. He was joking, but he said he needed to have an alarm to remind him to eat when he was practicing all weekend. Okay, whoops, and that zoom's not gonna work very well. Let's see if I can do it like this. So Jay was actually crushing the trades on Monday. He just came in. I mean, he was just nailing it. I mean, you could just see Jay putting in trades. He is just crushing it. Okay, so I kind of make a mention. I'm like, dude, you are on your game today. And, I did not know this. He goes, here he goes. Thousands of trades all weekend. Glued to my computer, obsessed. You see this? Hey, what's up, Ronald? Okay. He joked about not being able to remember to eat. He practiced, and he said he was ready. Where was it that he said he was ready? Here you go. Look at this. I did replay all weekend, and I was ready. Thank you, V. Now, I want you to remember this moment. If you do this, folks, I will tell you right now, you will have success. I've told you guys, if you guys watch an old video of mine, where I said that even to this day, I have never had a losing day after I did market replay the night before. Think about that. I have never had a losing day after I did market replay the night before. Now, I always knock on wood, because it's exactly the moment that one day, of course, it's going to happen. I'm going to do market replay, and then I'll have a losing day. But to this point, I have literally never had a losing day after a solid session set of market replays. There is something about that activity that makes the market visually ready for you in your mind. Your reaction time, your click rate, all these things happen. I'll use a baseball analogy, right? We just had the Super Bowl last night, and people use a lot of sports analogies, so let's use another one of those. Let's do baseball this time. If you've ever watched the guy on the side of the plate where they put these big heavy donuts on the end of their bat, right? And they're swinging it with the donut on the bat, right? And they're doing this right before they get up to the plate, right? Don't you think that as a professional athlete, he's probably swung that bat 1,000 times? Does he really need to do that right before he goes up to the plate? Well, he does, because he swings that bat. If I can draw a bat here. Well, it's a terrible bat, all right? Okay, but this bat has this donut on it. Maybe 2 donuts. I've seen them where they'll stack up 2 or 3 of these things. So if this thing weighs like 15 pounds, right? Then they get up to the plate, the thing's like a pound, and they're like ready to whip it. Okay, they drop that weight, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're ready to go. But again, they've done tons of practice prior to that. But boom, right before they get up to the plate, they're putting this weight on there so they can get up there and the thing swings light as a feather. So market replay. Have I nailed this home enough? I think so. Now, the training wheels. So I talked to you guys. Go back to video 1. Okay, remember 5 trades. This is one way. We talk about some of the other things about. I'm not wanting you guys to trade every strategy that we have. If you were to trade every strategy that we have, let's see how long it would take to even scroll through those on the left. Okay, so if you come down here to our education section, okay, the strategies, you know, every one of these, strat, 2-finger, batwing, bow tie, breezeway, breakout, freebie trade, flowmaster, Harmana dot, HMD, ignition bars, right? If you continue to go down these, look how we haven't even, this is a whole page of all these. If you try to do all these at once, okay, that's not going to be success either, right? Need to narrow those down. We talk about getting the training wheels on, be very specific, become a master of a few of these first, okay? The training wheels parts. Let me talk to you guys about why the market is so hard, okay? People say, Vinny, why don't you trade the entire day? I've failed in the past to come up with a good analogy, but I realized I've got this amazing new analogy I want to share with you guys. Okay, this is the bull riding analogy. Okay, bull riders. Anybody in here ever ridden a bull? If you've ever ridden a bull, raise your hand. How about this? You're not raising your hands. Type a 1 if you know about bull riding at all, and a 2 if you don't. Okay, because I'm gonna talk about some things that you need to know about bull riding. Okay. Can anybody answer this question? How long is an official ride on a bull? Not a lot of people are gonna know this. Yes, not a lot of people know this. So I come to find this out, and actually I found this very fascinating myself when I discovered this, okay? How long is a bull ride? So you think about a professional bull rider, right? There are professional bull riders, and you'll hear about a bucking bronco, and you'll hear, you know, riding these bulls. Yes, Doug, nailed it. 8 seconds right there. You see that right there? See how he said 8 seconds? 8 seconds. Think about that. Mr. Cook knows it. 8 seconds? Are you joking me? Raylan knows it. Matthew thought it was 25. I wish it was 25. I was blown away. Only 8 seconds? So, I mean, we can count these out. 1 1001, 2 1002, 3 1003, 4 1004, 5 1005, 6 1006, 7 1007, 8 1008. That's it? What? That's it. That's it. The guy gets a standing ovation for having ridden a bull, folks, for 8 seconds. 8 seconds? Seriously? You're a professional? Anthony, it used to be 10? What? Not enough people could ride it for 10? See, I didn't know that stat. So if it used to be 10 seconds, they reduced it to 8. Folks, do you understand how hard it is to ride a bull? Part 1. How hard is it to ride a bull? Okay? Think about it. How hard it must it be to ride a bull if a professional bull rider gets a standing O for 8 seconds? Right? It's got to be so hard. So, what happens after when he jumps off, right? He's going to get dumped off. Here's the point. A bull is so strong, so outpowers a human. There is no possible way for even a professional to ride on that bull longer than 8 seconds. And with one hand. That's right, Raylan. One hand. Now, I don't know if that's an official regulation, like maybe with 2 hands they can stay on, or if that's because that's helping them to balance. I don't know. I always was confused by that. If that's like would they like to use 2 hands? I don't know. Because I've seen them put their hand down on the bull before, so it's not like they can't touch it. I don't think that's an actual rule, is it? But I guess my point on that is just that the market is like riding a bull in a lot of ways. This is a perfect analogy. What I realized is, even as good as I am, I've been doing this 14 years. I cannot ride a bull and the thing makes all these crazy gyrations. Like the next time you guys go watch, like you should go watch a video on bull riding. It's insane. Okay, these things are like just all over the place. You cannot predict some of their moves. Think about that. You cannot predict some of their moves. Does that sound familiar? I don't know how to spell gyration. Gyration? Maybe G-Y? Is it gyration? Okay. You cannot predict every move in gyration. They're gonna fall off. You're gonna fall off that bull. If you stay on there, you're gonna fall off, right? And another thing, if that bull rider, when he falls off, did you guys know that you know what rodeo clowns are? So some people don't know what rodeo clowns are, but rodeo clowns are there to actually protect the life of the bull rider. Because when the person falls off of that bull is so mad, it wants to kill that person. Okay, it will either gorge him with his horns, or he'll try to trample him. He'll step on him. So if he falls off, dude, you gotta roll and get out of there, right? All these analogies, I want you to think about bailing on your trades. Okay, like you are in that trade, you're riding it, great. But if you stay on there, if you keep trying at it, the longer that you stay on that, the more likely it is that you're gonna fall off. You guys following this? Like you need to get in, get your hits, okay? Take your trades and get out. That's the way that we trade here with the video game mentality. We talk about the whole 90 minutes thing. Go back to the videos and watch and understand the whole things about doing the 90 minutes, 2 sessions per day, the breaks in between, all that stuff. Yes, distract the bull away from the rider if he falls off. Exactly. To save his tail. If you try to stay in that ring, though, the bull is going to win. This is my point. The bull will always win, folks. Okay? The bull will always win. There is no way around this in trading and in riding bulls. The bull always wins. Okay, and this is not a bull bear analogy. Okay, but the market is like riding a bull, and there is no way you're going to win. And the people that we are, okay, we are not the bulls themselves. Okay, we're not the institutions. We're just on for a ride. Okay, you need to be on that thing and you need to be off. Okay, get on there, ride it, take your pay, get off, safely live to ride again. You guys got this analogy? I want you to think about that. You're a bull rider. No bull rider is going to try to sit there and go, now maybe he's beyond 8 seconds. Maybe he tries to get 10 seconds, maybe 12, maybe 13, maybe he's on a weak bull that day. Maybe he's just really on his game that day. Maybe he makes it 25 seconds. I don't know. Maybe is that the record? Is that why somebody said 25 seconds? Somebody look up what's the record for the longest bull ride ever. We should look that up. Okay? But when you're trading, you are riding a bull and you need to ride it for that 8 seconds and get off. That's what a professional does. Make your money, get off, and go away, right? The SIM, ultimate sniper, hypothesis, and setup of the trade, just as if not more important than executing the actual trade. Yes, the setup of the trade. Yes, so that's in those previous videos, making sure you get through the filters first, then execute, right? A lot of people focus on that entry. It's a good point. That a lot of people are just focused on just the entry. Yes, the entry is very important, extremely important. Okay, but then managing that trade appropriately, getting off at the right time, and then like you catch a good set of trades. Like let's say, remember I told you guys, what do you do if you win 5 trades in a row? Do I tell you, oh, well, then do 5 more? No. Then I go, all right, you got one more shot to crush it. Oh, the longest one is 2 minutes and 4 seconds? Wow. Okay, so 2 minutes. Think about that, folks. Think about how short that time of window is. The guy couldn't ride the bull. That's the Guinness Book of World Records. It says 2 minutes and 4 seconds. For a professional bull rider, folks, and probably, who knows, there's probably some circumstance under which like the bull might have had like a broken leg or had a hangnail or something. Who knows? Like it probably wasn't as bucking. I have seen some that I'm like, dude, there is no way you're going to stay on that thing, But it's so random, right? But maybe that day, that bull just happened to be, I don't know, took a snoozer pill or something, or who knows what, right? Or the guy maybe he's that good. Oh, it was a mechanical bull? Okay, that doesn't count. So the mechanical bulls, those are, in my opinion, like those are even more predictable. But you can shoot. I've seen those people at those the bars where they're like moving that joystick around, and like if they once they really want to throw somebody off, like they can get you off of that thing. Like you can make that thing spin around a circle and then fly forward. There's no way you can't keep up with it, and you're gonna get flown from the thing. So I want you guys to think about that you are riding a bull. When you start to trade, take those trades, make your pay, and get out of there, right? That is important, especially for new people. Please, a lot of this, everything I'm talking about is the new folks. As you gain experience, folks, you're going to be able to ride longer, okay? But initially, please don't have your, eyes wide open and just, eyes as big as saucers and be like, woo! Okay? Get in there, hit your trades, get out, be safe, live to trade another day. That's my bull riding analogy. I'm sure there's lots of things we'll use that a lot in the future, but just think about it. Professionals still cannot ride that long. Don't try to stay in the game too long per day. Okay, extremely important. All right, external tools. Screenshotting, extremely important for what we do. And I want you guys doing this because I'm going to talk about setups before I'm going to say my very first lesson that we're going to do, and I may end up doing it later tonight. No, tonight is State of the Union address is coming out tonight, so be paying attention as our great President Trump is going to be doing our State of the Union. So check that out here later tonight. But tomorrow, I am going to dive in. We're going to start day in, day out, probably for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Almost every day, I'm going to be putting out a strategy video on each one of these, because think about how many we have, okay? And I'm just going to be tap, 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 going down the list, alphabetical order likely, except for a few exceptions. At the very beginning, I'm talking about some important ones, particularly like the 2-finger salute, which actually, if you think it starts with a 2, so it's pretty close to the top, yeah. No, so we're still good. 2-finger salute is our very first one that I'm going to be doing. But these things, these first 4 videos, this is the mental prep components of everything you're going to need to do before you go and execute these. These videos are extremely important for the filtering, etc. Now, techniques and tactics and tools. Couple of things. Number 1, get yourself a Twitter account. And I'm going to show you guys something. Some of you guys may have never seen what TweetDeck is before. All right. But as far as news events coming out, you need to know how many times has anybody been in a situation, what's up, Neon? He said one needs to visualize the trade and potential outcomes well before entering the trade. Yes, but well before, sometimes that's not necessarily, a lot of time. But in our area, like 2 or 3 seconds, even 5 seconds ahead of time is actually enough. Remember, go watch video 3. What do I say? Like, we're looking around the top, right? Look at the tide, the wave, the ripple, MACV. I'd choose my direction and go, right? That can happen in just a few seconds. I take a peek at the algo matrix. I could just look at the algo matrix. The MACV, right? That saves me a lot of time. Algo matrix, MACV, make the decision, right? Sometimes it can happen quickly, but you need a Twitter account and you need to become familiar with TweetDeck, okay? This is what this is. TweetDeck. What exactly is that? I'm going to talk to you guys about the tools you need to set up for yourselves, external tools. That's, the final part of this lesson before we get into everything that is AlgoBox and the actual strategies. TweetDeck, to know things about what's going on in the news. And now I'm going to talk to you about filters. So for TweetDeck, at the top of the list up here, let's see if I can zoom into one of these. All right, so up here at the top, I have some filters for each of the instruments that I'm looking at. Up to 7 or 8 max, okay? But we're usually trying to get between 4 or 5 instruments that we're gonna be watching and monitoring at all times. Why? Well, this is what happens. A lot of people are like, well, think about news. When news comes out, what are you gonna do? You're gonna wait for the TV, for the CNBC person to be told about it, then for that to be passed to the producer, for that to be passed to the anchor, for that person to talk about it on, by the time you do that, it's game over, okay? If you get caught up in the middle of a trade and there is a news event that's breaking, like let's say you're trading gold, for instance. Gold and crude, these are two big ones right here. Gold and crude. If something comes out and these start to move and you're in the middle of a trade, yikes, okay? You need to know, like, whoa, is this a technical thing, or is there a news event? Is there a macro event going on that you might need to either change your position or rethink what's happening, or know whether or not, hey, this could be some big move that you want to catch a black swan event, okay? So one of those tools that is helpful is to have TweetDeck. Now you might want to load them up like this, okay? So on my browser, because again, screen real estate, I know, which again, I talked to you guys, you need to have multiple screens, but right up here, you might want to keep these two tabs right there, okay? One of them is your Discord, one of them is your TweetDeck. This could be for your news stuff, okay? So you're here in the room, you're seeing what's going on, you're pasting stuff. This is your primary area to go to. We'll be having more audio news coming into our room soon. However, if you need to go, hey, what's up with crude? Boom, come right over here, check right here. These are divided up by columns. Can I do shift? There we go. Okay, you guys I'm sure can already see the columns, but for demonstration illustration purposes here, these are divided up. So over here I got the ES, NQ, YM, gold, crude, and the Russell right here. Now, what you'll see during the daytime, like some big news event comes out, all of a sudden these things start to go crazy. You'll start to see a bunch of stuff floating up them, and you can instantly catch it. So sometimes it'll hit the Twitter feed before it ever hits anywhere else. Okay, people start instantly talking about it. So this is TweetDeck. I won't go any farther into that. We can go into more details later. But tools that you need to have at your disposal. TweetDeck. Make sure you have a Twitter account to do that. And I would suggest you guys follow Trump and probably follow me. Those are two good follows. And let's see, next. Your screenshotting tools. Okay, so there are a myriad of options when we come to setting up stuff. I'm going to tell you guys about a site called Ninite.com. Okay, see this site right here? Ninite, Ninite. If you're setting up a brand new computer, this is a great site anytime that I'm going to go and start up a new machine, because check this out, the way that they do this. Like all the stuff you usually install first time you get in a computer, look at all these cool things. Okay, you come right on here and you can get Chrome, you can get your Firefox, you can get your security essentials, which again, we really don't want antivirus stuff on your computers. It slows things down. But you got TeamViewer here, you got Skype, you got Discord, you got Spotify for your music, you got, anyway, basically all the goodies. Your OneDrive stuff, don't get that. That's going to mess up your stuff. What else we got? Your zip stuff. But here we go. Right here, here are some free screenshot tools. Okay, right here. GreenShot is the one that's on here. I've used this one. It's pretty good. You know, I still prefer Snagit for myself. It's about $50 if you want to get that. However, I found that on my big screens and my 4K stuff with multiple monitors, it actually has some lag to it, and GreenShot is actually faster. So might want to check that one out. I have not really played too much with this ShareX. If anybody has any thoughts around ShareX, this one is also supposed to be pretty good. I installed it the other day. I looked at the interface just to prep for this video. But anyhow, it's there. You just go on this list and check these all off. Like, okay, I want this one, I want this, Spotify. I want some Opera, Firefox, Chrome, and Notepad++. Anyhow, you go right now here and go get your Ninite. This installs all these at the same time. It's awesome. Okay, it just goes next, 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 next. You don't have to even click anything. It just does all of it in the background. Really cool website for setting up a computer, even outside of trading. Okay. What other tools there? Okay, for your screenshotting. Extremely important. And now let me talk about how you're going to use the screenshotting tools to make flashcards. Flashcarding is important. Here is what you need to know how to do and what you're going to do with that. Okay, flashcarding. All right, so everybody, when you're a kid, you guys know what the flashcards are. Every flashcard has two sides to it, right? Got the front side, got the back side, right? On the front, you got the question. On the back, you got the answer, okay? And you need to do this with your charts. So you're gonna have setups that are coming in. You see the price coming up, it's doing one of these. All right, what am I supposed to do after this? You got ShareX, it's good programs, features, and quite quick. Not my primary, but I use another machine. Okay, awesome. Yeah, quick, I might need to try it to see if it's any faster than my current one. I've got some problems with what I've currently got. So what I tend to look at these as are before and afters, okay? Think about this. This card's gonna be your before, and this is your after, instead of the answers, although they are answers. All right, I just jacked that all up, but you guys get the point. Okay. Before and after. So this is gonna be beep, beep. And what do we know what this is? Now that's of course if the price came down, so maybe you guys know the thing. All right, so what is this? This is gonna be a Richie. What do we expect afterwards? Oops. Not that last part. Ah. There we go. Okay. So the before and the after, right? This is a Richie. So you might want to define these. You want to put some text on them. Not necessary, but for things like this, I would probably label them. Now, good screenshot utility will allow you to label and draw, and you can draw circles, you can draw arrows. What is it, Control Shift? There you go, you can draw cool arrows and label your stuff, okay? You need to be saving these into a folder on your machine, or we can also, I recommend that people create their own little Discord channel on the left. I'll show you guys some of the folks in our room who have their own Discords and use it, some examples as well. So over here on the left, you can dump a lot of your screenshots inside of these rooms. Let me go over here and I'm going to show you guys a little peek into stuff we've been talking about in the Platinum room recently. There is our Platinum. Got too many rooms. Here we go. Ever since we worked through the inquiry. Okay, confirm we are testing. We'll be in touch as soon as possible. Okay, so NinjaTrader, those of you guys who are having some issues with the install lately, we have NinjaTrader is working on that for those who are stuck in the free trial scenario. Okay, so Simon has been doing an awesome job recently on capturing, and look at the labels, okay? This is kudos to, let's see if I can get this. I'm totally destroying this. All right, look at these awesome labels. So he's taking a lot of before and after screenshots. We were discussing a particular type of setup recently with something that we're currently calling the plover. We'll come up with probably a different name for that for now, so I don't want to talk about that too much. But we're talking about the setup. This is like a before and after scenario, right? He's showing the befores and afters as we're going through here. Extremely, extremely powerful, folks, to see a before and an after on different setups. Now, this isn't a perfect scenario. These are not supposed to be flashcards, but I'm going to give you some examples where, let me show you for earlier today. In our room, we were talking about, some people were asking, let's jump to present. That's also crazy. Thank you, sir. Let's zoom back out. Okay, so we were trying to describe the plover and coming up with names earlier today for this that I think I'm calling the crosswalk for right now. We did some before and afters. All right, here we go. So here's a good example where the question was there. It says, there it is again. Let's see if it goes to the PRZ. So this type of trade is actually designed straight leg coming down. You have a PRZ box sitting right there, and all of a sudden you get a white cross that shows up right here, and I can't draw in white, so otherwise I would. And we want to enter in right here. Okay, enter, and the target is the PRZ. Okay, so what we want to do is, this is the before screenshot. This is what should be coming as the entry. Okay, very effective. So when you see this, the question is, what do you do? Right? You ask yourself, what's next? Okay, I have a whole folder that I call the what's next folder, where I'm looking at one screenshot and then I'm trying to predict what's going to happen next. Okay, so this one, this is the A side of the card on the flashcard. And of course we have our answer. Boom, kapow. Thing goes all the way to target, right? So there was that plus sign. What does it look like afterwards? Again, this is now after the harmonic. This is a cipher in this case, right? And boom, price went right into that PRZ. So what's the distance from here to here? Here is the profits. There is the cross. So from here into that zone, this is all profit. Right? So this is before and after screenshots. Basically, these should be pairings. You're going to do pairings of stuff. Now, do you not just have to have two? No, sometimes I like to show a progress of a trade, right? One that particularly is like the bow tie. The bow tie is one where I may want to take a screenshot at the beginning for the entry and then multiple afters, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be just, just two. Whoops, I should do yellow. Doesn't necessarily have to be just two cards, a before and after. You may have a before and then an after, and then another after a, maybe this is was it A2? So you got A1, A2. What's up, Remel? A3, so that you show a progression of a trade through those. Highly effective, but make sure you can take those screenshots quickly. That is a skill, believe it or not. I know this is a small thing, but folks, become exceptional at the small things, okay? Somebody told me one time, I like this one. Okay, extraordinary. What is extraordinary? The only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra at the beginning, okay? Do the extra and do the extra things exceptionally well and you will be extraordinary, okay? So small things like screenshotting, be good at it, right? Let me tell you somebody who is really good at this, Simon. If you guys want some tips and tricks, go ask Simon how he takes screenshots, okay? He does it now, he's got 12 screens, okay? He's got more than I do. And he's very, very good at it and he relentlessly posts in those screenshots, and it's extremely important. I'll give another example. So Els lately has been posting all her screenshots as she's taking her trades. It's been easy for me to give her critiques because she's posting her screenshots. I'm trying to find some of hers from this morning. There she is. Okay. Posting her screenshots in the room, walking all the way through this trade, talking it through. And I can look at things and I can tell if she's doing things properly. I can give her instant feedback. The room can also give feedback. Extremely, extremely powerful tool. So use that and take advantage of that opportunity that, there's really no better way to do that. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Like you could write me an entire paragraph of things, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. Take that screenshot, post it in there. I will read the paragraph that you've sent. I promise. And by that I mean you don't have to write a paragraph. You could literally write me like, hey, what do you think about this one, Vinny? I might ask you a couple questions about it, but I can usually tell everything that's going on inside of a screenshot. So extremely important. Okay, I got 7 minutes. After the flashcards, fans legs, things to measure, bull riding. Got our tools. Okay. Now, last thing, market replay, folks. So how to practice. We talked about, well, we need to put in the practice time. There is, this is the prerequisite section. So go back, this is lessons 1, 2, and 3, but there are prerequisite videos for installation and setup, and we walk through market replay. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail around market replay here tonight, but if you are not familiar with market replay, again, I will go ahead and do this lesson right now. File, connect. Well, let's disconnect first because I cannot be connected to a live feed. Okay, we're going to go File, Connect, Market Replay. This is not hard, folks. Okay, this is your video game to be playing. All you do, Market Replay, connect, and then start to execute. Okay, now in this case right now, I haven't gone and downloaded any data, so I'd have to go and change this to one of the dates that I've got. So I'm going to go right in here. You guys know how to do this. I can look to see what available data I have. So for InQ, what do I got here? I've got, let's see if I have anything later. I've got 0319 data for 1-3. Okay, so That is January the 3rd, 2019. January 3rd, 2019. All right, so I'm going to go to InQ. 03-19 is the contract month, and I'm going to connect to 2019. So I'm just changing the date up here to January the 3rd. Like it's a Thursday. All right, and let's start kicking off some data. So I'm gonna put this at 500x speed. There we go. All right, my video game is turned on. Right? Oh, man, hold on. The sound is going crazy.
Fidelity color dog alert.
Now again, I don't expect you guys to be trading the video game at 500x speed, right? But somewhere between 10 and 20x speed is what you're going to be trading on, right? So the video game's going. You guys know the drill. We're looking at the tide, the wave, the ripple, the filter. And in reality, you could, remember, I talked to you guys about in video number 3, right? What's the shortcut? Now that we have this new tool here, right? Majority of this is red, so I should still be looking for shorts right here, right? But these are green right now, so as soon as I see one turn red, now I'm looking for that short side, right? Now we're going greens, looking greens, but we've got shorts favorable. So all these different types of scenarios, what you're thinking through before you execute that trade, right? And then let me select an ATM here. How about ES long? How about this one? All right, we got shorts favorable. I'm just going to press some buttons here. Let's see if we can get something. Nope. Whoa, I just lost a lot of money. All right, just lost a lot more money. All right, this is not an actual trade setup, but look how fast we should be able to set this up. What screen tool? Hypersnap, fantastic. I like the Hypersnap tool myself. I think that's a great tool to use. So yes, just make sure that whatever tool you are going to use for screenshotting, just make sure it's one that you are very familiar with. That you can remember. I talked like you should be able to post a screenshot in like 3 seconds. Okay, 3 seconds should be like 1001, 2 1002, 3 1003. Click, bam. Right, it should take you maybe 3 seconds to get that screenshot into the room. When you're trying to get that screenshotting going. Okay, it shouldn't take you longer than that to do those things. Okay, but turn your video game on, know how to use it, execute a lot on your video game. Here's a beautiful setup coming in right here on a shark. Look at that shark back play, right? That's a perfect setup right there. That should definitely be played if you are doing the harmonics. Right, you see this one right here? Shark back. What do we get? Off the back, target 1. Where we're coming up 50% for target 2. That's a beauty, right? And if you're running the runner scenario, what am I doing? Exiting on the red on the other side. Half off, and if you're practicing in your final 40 days, what are we doing? Half on, half off, add, right? You got it. Snag it, ShareX, green, shot. A few alternatives. Perfect. Yeah, great scenario there. And ask in the room, you know, if you're like, hey, what screenshot utility you guys like? You know, here's somebody tell you. I think Simon uses it's an interesting one by Microsoft. It's called ScreenTick, if I'm not correct. That one's like, it's weird. Like they charge 50 cents or 99 cents for that one. A little bit weird. I don't understand their marketing structure on that, but there's that one. And yeah, that's it. Feels like there was one other thing. The market replay stuff, and I think we'll get it in the next video. I think we covered a lot here tonight. Algomatrix on MACV, I have on my second Ripple as well. Could be 3 to 5. Here's the problem with doing that, Neon. Days of data. If you're not going to get the tide information if you are doing it down there. How many days of data do you have on that? You're going to need like probably 30 days at a minimum, but you could need 60 or 90 days to truly get the backside of that if you are trying to catch. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. That's not it. Okay, Windows, give me problems. Okay, so Algomatrix. Yeah, the problem is the days of data. It would be great if you did. If you can, it will take a long time to load up. You had 15 on the Ripple. Yeah, I mean, you might. Just be careful of the accuracy. If you're trying to rely on this backside, in fact, you see how this is blue right there? That's because we don't have data for it. Yeah, the 50 cents thing. Yeah, I'm not sure what their pricing thing is on that. It's a little bit odd. They just they're like, I think they just use that little app so that they at least have your credit card on file so that you'll buy other things in the future. Like, oh, okay, well, I've already got it on file. So you don't, not buy something because it's going to be a pain. I think that's their strategy, maybe. What do they say? It's the first dollar to get out of somebody's pocket is the hardest, then the others come easier. Maybe something like that. So yeah, the algo matrix, be careful, days of data. We'll go into in-depth detail. I'm telling you guys, the next sets of videos, get ready, because every one of these, like, we'll have a video specifically around just the algo matrix, like just the algo matrix, right? We're gonna have stuff on just the MACV. We're gonna have stuff on just the 89 range, on just the auto levels, on just the golden ropes, the rivers, just two finger salutes, right? We're gonna get into nitty gritty details. They're gonna be fast videos. They're not gonna be long. Again, this is the final lengthy video. This is right at 1 hour. Each of these videos has been 1 hour, and we're gonna kind of stick to those. So this is 4 hours in your belt. Make sure you have absorbed everything that I was trying to tell you in those. I know sometimes I probably babbled on about it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys got something out of all these. You definitely should have at least in the first 3. This one is a little bit more like, I just want to drill this home for like the last time before we jump into this stuff. Everything is free on Thinkorswim. We're talking about screenshotting tools, I think, Anthony. Unless I missed something, you guys are talking about something else. And just because it's free does not mean it's good. Don't forget that. All right. Anything else? I think that's it. Any other final questions? Forward to pinpointing things. Yes. So a lot of those things, be deep diving into the menus on the left. Some other things as far as kind of like hearing some other stuff. There are some documentaries down there. I only put the documentaries down in there that I think are actually very, very valuable. Not necessarily just for entertainment purposes. So those documentaries in our Discord channels, extremely helpful. Let me show some of those. Oh, you know what? I think on that first video, I was wrong about Market Wizards. I want to issue a correction. On the very first video, I think I was talking about Market Wizards. It's not Market Wizards with Jack Schwager. It is... shoot. The reason I remembered it is because we're talking about the documentaries. But I always get these two books mixed up. Let's see. There's documents. Trading related. Okay. It is officially... It's like one of the first ones I put in here. Here we go. Mark Douglas. What was that book called? Trading in the Zone. I always get those two, Market Wizards and Trading in the Zone. I don't know if it's the Z thing or what. And because the seminars are not called Trading in the Zone, so I think that's part of the problem too. I only reference these for they're actually called Trading Like a Professional Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. But his his book. This is Mark Douglas, and it's Trading in the Zone. Not what I was talking about in that very first video. Remember, I was like, oh, what's that book? And then somebody was telling me, they said Jack Schwager, and I was like, that still doesn't sound quite right. It's Mark Douglas. Go watch these for particularly number 2, where he talks about gaming, right? Our strategy of trading the markets like a video game. Everything nowadays is divided by the click of a mouse. This is how we trade now. All right. Awesome, you guys are fantastic. Loved all the feedback and the conversation going on. Let's see, to miss a large white cross, continuation, or reversal. Ah, yes, man. You know what? We had some great ones of those today. I actually want to hit on these because let me show you guys some crushing it today. You guys want to see some just absolute crushing it. So today was a bonus day for me, 5,700. today. Again, the market gave us some gimmies. I mean, great speed today. Market, really we hit all-time highs again. It wasn't that I was just going long for sure. We had trades in both directions. But let me show you guys some of these white cross trades. So Flowmaster. Flowmaster is some of the newest stuff that we've got. Remember, Flowmaster is really just enhancing what we already have, although we have found some specific strategies on these. And the answer to that question is, he asked, are the large white crosses for continuations or reversals? The answer is both. It is context sensitive, but this means big things are happening in that area. Volume and speed are required for one of these to show up, which is why you will see these at pivot points on a regular basis. Okay, let me show you some awesome trades that I took on some of these and some others in the room today as well. I think Curtis took some awesome trades. Curtis was hitting almost 4K today. All right, what was this one? This was not a trade. That was me showing an example to somebody. Let me show an actual one. So this is me giving examples. All right, this one, I got me a plover on, but I'm not showing the actual entry. Is it this one? Plover, oh, this is a runner. Okay, so I had already hit targets on this, targets 1 and 2, but I enter in on this one, and I wanted to get my targets in on this. This ends up going all the way up. Plover entry, white cross. Here, I'm using the white cross as a continuation into what we're currently calling the plover. I hate that name. So we're coming up with another one, I promise. Okay, here we're talking about the white cross is showing that we're getting into an accumulation zone. Okay, again, we'll go into very, very big detail, but check out some of these awesome ones from today. This, can you see the white cross in there? It's in there. White cross on top of the shark back. Yes, please. We crushed this one. So, yeah, targets, all 3 targets hit on this guy. Finished off. This is the end. Yeah, this is the beginning, and there's the final. Crushed all 3 of those trades. All 3 targets on that one. That was a beauty. And again, that. All right, accumulation zone. With the crosses start to show up, we got accumulation happening. Which, what are we looking for after the accumulation? We're looking for that big distribution. But you're gonna have the biggest distributions coming into zones where we get accumulation along with the white cross inside of those. We'll talk about more about it. Let's see an actual entry using those. This was actually a 2-finger salute just down below. I think I had at least one more with the crosses. Ursulon crushing it today. Els was hitting some of those. Let's see if I can find, I think one of the early morning trades was off of the crosses. No, I think they were all 2 fingers this morning though, weren't they? So let's see, that's Els. That's Els posted under screenshots. Awesome work there. Okay, really liked this one. Did I get this trade? I can't recall. No, this was yesterday. Okay, this is yesterday's stuff. I guess there weren't any more from this morning, but we've had quite a few of these with those crosses, but we will talk in great detail on how to use those. Flowmaster is really an amazing add-on to our tool set. Use what we already know, enhance it with those, but we now have entries off of those as well. We had one cross dot play today. It was amazing. So you get the dot plus a cross like right on it like this. The price basically goes just absolutely rocking it off of that. That's what we call the cross dot. Harmonic plus the cross. Harmas. Oh, I like that. The Harmas. Yeah, we were calling it the harmonic cross. That one's right here. Let's look at the Harmonidot. So there was a Harmonidot in here earlier. Oh, no, not the Harmonidot. Wow, I'm just going nuts here. The cross dot. Where is, there it is, cross dot. Yeah, look at this one. Look at this beast. I did not take this trade today, but I saw this afterwards and I'm like, yeah. I'll take that all day. Cross dot, just rocketed. These are actually Simon's. See these cross dots? You got the cross plus a dot on them. Boom. Every one of them looking pretty. Not every one. I'm not going to say anything. That's every one of them. But look at this one. This one you get a pink dot. You get the pink plus a cross. Awesome killer combo. Very easy to see, highly distinguished. Look at this one. 2 crosses plus a red dot. Yeah. Wrecked. Yeah, buddy. Yes, El Espíritu Santo. Por todo del mundo. Oh, look at that beast. Yeah. Cross dot. I love looking at these. Look at this one. Cross dot. Yeah. I'll take it. And yeah, you guys want to check out some of those plovers we put on there. The if you guys want to get ahead of the game on the Flowmaster, go check out the Flowmaster screenshots. We've got quite a collection going on in here now. I think you can get the ideas. You know, pictures worth 1,000 words. You could probably look at this one and go, wonder what he's doing right there. Right? White cross plus a harmonic PRZ. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even get a good entry on this, but we're still making cash. Right? Actually, this is not my trade. Whose was this? I don't trade micros. This is somebody else. Ha! I was like, why was I so far behind that entry? You kids, get better entries. Trade better than Mikey. You know what's funny? I'm gonna do one more on my son here. On his, I'm so proud of him for flying around in the choppers and stuff. But you know, let me tell you how long it took him to get to this point. Okay, my child loves this game, right? He will sit there and play this game for hours while I'm sitting right here trading. I'll hear him back there, and he's, you know, telling people, be like, "Get wrecked." Get wrecked. He's back there, you know, shooting him up playing this game. He will spend hours on this game. It's why he's getting better. It's why he's progressing forward. So put in that time. Again, our mobile app is actually going to be helping you guys to track the amount of time you're spending in Market Replay. But if you want to create your own Excel spreadsheet or some way that you start to track how long you spend in your Market Replay, because I will tell you there's a direct correlation between the amount of time that you spend in Market Replay and the size of your P&L. And I mean the green size, right? I mean, you're like, okay, a little bit of time, okay, a lot of the time. I'm just telling you right now. And, you know, go take Jay's example. He came in after a weekend. He had practiced all weekend long. Come Monday, he just bam, 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 crushing it. Just absolutely crushing it. You know, and he works a full-time job, but I think he had like a Monday off. So he was like, I'm going to just trade on Monday. So he got prepped on the weekend, just absolutely crushed it on Monday for his one day that he was going to be trading this week. Brilliant, right? Set yourself up for success. Remember, there are dreamers, there are planners. Planners make their dreams come true. Plan, okay? Set your plan, execute on the plan, whether that includes limiting yourself to those 5 trades and the 6th trade for the bonus, or like on a scenario where you're just going to trade 1 day a week, right? You trade that Monday morning, whatever that might be. Make sure you trade your plan it up, and execute. And of course, using the tools, let the tools do the work. I think I covered all of the things, and I have a massive list here on tonight's stuff, but we covered it all. Thanks for hanging out, folks. You guys rock! For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis G, and the rest of the gang. I'm sending out that Big H-Town. See ya!
Watch out! It's Connor. I've got it all, and I'm getting more, but I never fall, beat them all, 'cause you know I'm so humble. I'm so I'm a superstar, I kick down the door, got the money in the bills, and I'm also so humble. I'm so humble. I'm so humble. Bar none, I am the most humblest. Number 1 at the top of the humble list. My apple crumble is by far the most crumblest, but I act like it tastes bad out of humbleness. The thing about me that's so impressive is how infrequently I mention all of my successes. I poo-poo it when girls say that I should model. My belly's full from all the pride I swallow. I'm the most courteous, biddable, hospitable, reverential, normally Arnold Schwarzenegger. I hate compliments. performance. Put them in the mortuary. I'm so ordinary that it's truly quite extraordinary.
It's not a competition, but I'm winning. You won't get me admitted because I'm so timid and submissive. I treat fat people like they were thin. Talk simple for the dumb. I'm so humble.
I'm not your normal definition of a rock star. I don't complain when my private jet is subpar. Your mom's old, but I'll ask if she's your sister. People say I'm charming, but I beg to differ. I feel more humble than Dikembe Mutombo after a stumble left him covered in a big pot of gumbo. I guess in a way being gracious is my weakness. People say I'm so unpretentious for a genius.
I've got it all, and I'm getting more, but I never fall, beat them all, cause you know I'm so humble.
I say that with no ego. It's just good manners.
You say I'm a 10, but I'm a native best. Who says you're not me, cause I'm so humble.
Mama raised me right.
I'm so humble. I'm so humble. Watch out. Looking at the city like I already own it. Standing on top cause I earned this moment. I took what was mine, now I won't let go of it. Cause I'm a hustler, yeah I'm a hustler. Cause I'm a hustler, yeah I'm a hustler. I didn't come from looks, oh no diamonds. Yeah, I was barely getting by, we survived like lions.